Why do some men trigger deep emotional bonds in women, without effort, without chasing, without saying much at all? And why do others give everything and still get forgotten? Here's the truth no one talks about. Women have emotional weak spots, not to be manipulated, but to be understood. And the Stoic man, who notices them, not with ego, but with presence, gains quiet influence most men never reach. These aren't physical, they're psychological. They live in her need for safety, recognition, and emotional depth. Right now, you may be overdoing what she never asked for, while missing what she's quietly craving. Because women won't always tell you what moves them. But if you're grounded, observant, and emotionally disciplined, you'll feel it. If you're ready to learn the 8 subtle emotional triggers that build real connection and lasting impact, like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment. I lead with awareness, not impulse. Number 1. When she competes, she's not testing your strength, she's searching for safety. You think she's just being difficult. She questions your opinion, challenges your ideas, teases you in front of friends. And your first instinct? Push back, defend yourself, prove you're right. But here's what you missed. She's not trying to win. She's trying to connect. That playful competition, the back and forth banter, the small disagreements over the most irrelevant things. It's not about dominance. It's an emotional handshake, a way of saying, I trust you enough to show up fully. When a woman feels emotionally safe, she doesn't always become soft. Sometimes she becomes bold, curious, even provocative. Why? Because she's not afraid to be seen and wants to know if you are. This is one of the most misunderstood dynamics in modern relationships. Many men interpret these moments as disrespect, as a threat to their authority. But the Stoic man sees something else, an opportunity to remain grounded, to hold his frame not with force, but with calm. Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You show that your confidence isn't fragile when you respond to her playful challenge with lightness, with a smirk instead of a scowl. You're not reacting to tension, you're inviting it. Like a dance partner who knows the rhythm will change but never loses step. And here's the deeper truth. Women don't challenge men they don't admire. They don't test men they don't see potential in. If she's engaging you this way, it means she sees you as an equal, someone worthy of being seen in full color, not just the black and white version of masculine stoicism. She wants depth. She wants resistance, not to fight you, but to feel your presence through it. But many men fail here. They either become defensive or dismissive. They shut her down or take her too seriously. And when that happens, she stops playing, stops testing, stops showing up. Not because she lost interest, but because you made it unsafe to be expressive. The Stoic approach is different. It embraces the discomfort. It reads the challenge not as threat, but as trust. It meets her fire with calm water, not to extinguish it, but to reflect it back. Clearer, deeper. So next time she competes with you, pause, breathe, smile, and lean in, not out. Because sometimes her challenge isn't a fight, it's a doorway. And if you walk through it gracefully, she won't just feel attracted, she'll feel understood. Comment below, her challenge isn't a threat, it's trust in disguise. Number 2. She feels what you hide and hopes you'll let her in. She asks you how you're doing. You say, I'm fine, but your voice dropped slightly, your eyes lingered longer. Your silence said more than your words, and she heard it all. You may think you're hiding your emotions well, but a woman who loves you doesn't just listen to what you say, she listens to everything you don't. The subtle shift in your energy, the hesitation in your tone, the sigh before your reply. These are signals to her, not of weakness, but of weight, and she feels it. She wants to share the burden, not because she thinks you're broken, but because that's what love does. It reaches out. But she doesn't feel rejected when you shut down and smile through sadness or joke through frustration. She feels helpless, because she can feel your pain, but you won't let her hold it. This is where many men misunderstand emotional openness. You've been taught that showing pain is weakness, that sharing struggle means surrendering your strength. But Stoicism doesn't teach suppression, it teaches selective sharing, with calm, with control, with honesty. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." You prove yourself not by bottling pain, but by holding it with poise, and allowing those who love you to see that strength in action. When you let her see a piece of that storm, not all of it, not recklessly, but enough to say, "You're welcome here," you're not losing power, you're creating intimacy. You're inviting her to be more than an observer. You're showing her that your strength includes softness, and your silence is not a wall, but a gate. But if you always close off, she'll stop asking. Not out of resentment, but resignation. She'll learn not to enter where the door is always locked. So next time you feel the weight, don't just carry it alone. Show her strength isn't how much you hide, but how wisely you choose to share. Now, speak out and comment below. I don't hide my pain, I honor it with honesty. Number 3. Her silence isn't indifference. It's the weight of what she feels. She gets quiet. You ask her what's wrong and she says, "Nothing," but her eyes hesitate. Her breath catches. Her energy shifts. What you're witnessing isn't distance, it's depth. When a woman truly loves, she doesn't always speak it boldly. She may go silent when it comes to her deepest fears or desires, not because she has nothing to say, but because she doesn't know if she's safe enough to say it. Real love makes her vulnerable, and vulnerability, even in the presence of someone she trusts, can feel terrifying. You might think her silence means she's pulling away, that she's uncertain or losing interest, but often it's the opposite. She's afraid to ruin something beautiful by saying too much or too soon. She's guarding her heart, not withholding it. She pauses, not because she doubts you, but because she fears being too much. In the Stoic view, this moment is not impatience, but opportunity. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The impediment to action advances action." Her silence is not a stop sign, it's an invitation to hold space, be still with her, and listen not just with your ears, but with your presence. The common mistake men make in this moment is to rush in with pressure. Just tell me, spit it out. But her silence isn't a puzzle to solve. It's a door that opens with calm, not force. The man who can sit beside her quietly without demanding is the one who proves he's safe. And safety is the soil where her truth will eventually bloom. This is emotional self-control in practice. Not needing to fix everything instantly, not taking her hesitation personally, not demanding clarity at your pace, but allowing her to unfold at hers. When you do this, when you don't fill the silence with fear or frustration, but with calm, she feels it, and she begins to trust that she can share what matters without being rushed or judged. So, next time she goes quiet, don't panic, stay, breathe, and let your patience speak the words she's not yet ready to say. Comment below. I don't rush her silence, I protect it. Number 4. Her small questions aren't random. They're blueprints for a future with you. She asks you what your favorite movie is, your favorite color, the name of your childhood pet, You might shrug it off, thinking, why does this even matter? But to her it does, a lot. Those small, seemingly insignificant questions aren't trivial. They're her way of studying you. Not to manipulate, but to understand. When a woman loves, she doesn't just want your time, but your essence. And the little things you barely notice about yourself, that's where she begins to build a world around you. In her mind, every answer becomes a thread. Your favorite drink becomes the coffee she surprises you with on a rough day. Your dream vacation becomes the background of a future conversation. How your eyes light up when you talk about your grandfather becomes why she asks about him again, days later. It's not interrogation, it's affection disguised as curiosity. From a Stoic lens, this is about attention, the rare, sacred art of seeing clearly. Epictetus taught, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. When she asks you small questions, she's listening beyond the surface. And when you respond with presence, not passively but intentionally, you meet her curiosity with care. Too many men miss this. They answer without asking back. They dismiss the detail. And in doing so, they close the door to intimacy. Because these moments are where real connection grows. In shared memory, mutual attention, and the joy of feeling known. So instead of brushing it off, turn it around. Ask her why she likes the things she does. What childhood smell brings her comfort? What songs shaped her first heartbreak? Show her you're just as invested in the details that make her her. Because love isn't built in grand declarations. It's built in the quiet collecting of small truths. And the man who values the little things, he becomes unforgettable. Comment below. I treasure her questions. They show me how deeply she cares. Number 5. Her jealousy isn't control. It's the fear of becoming invisible to you. She suddenly grows quiet when you're excited about a new project, or she asks why you've been texting less. Maybe she questions the way you talk about a coworker, even though it seems harmless to you. You think she's being irrational, but what if her jealousy isn't about control, but about fear? Jealousy doesn't always come from competition. Sometimes it comes from confusion, a fear that the connection you once shared is slowly fading into the background of your busy life. When a woman loves deeply, anything that takes your focus off her, not just people but work, hobbies, even silence, can feel like a rival. Not because she's possessive, but because she fears being forgotten. We live in a world that tells men to see jealousy as toxic, but not all jealousy is manipulation. Some of it is vulnerability in disguise, the emotional version of saying, I miss when I felt closer to you. The Stoics teach us to observe before reacting. Seneca wrote, no man is hurt but by himself. When she's jealous, your job isn't to shame her, it's to understand her, to see past the reaction and into the root. Is she truly angry or just aching to feel important to you again? This doesn't mean you fold or apologize for living your life. It means you acknowledge her feelings with calm presence. A touch, a gentle reminder, a moment where you pause, look her in the eyes and say, I see you, you still matter. That one sentence, said sincerely, can melt what hours of arguing won't fix. When you learn to meet her insecurity with security, you become the man who disarms fear without defensiveness. You make her feel safe without sacrificing your center. That's what Stoic leadership in love looks like. So don't dismiss her when she gets jealous over something small, your new gym routine, silence and passion. Don't laugh it off. See it for what it is. A quiet plea not to lose you. And respond not with distance, but with grounded reassurance. Comment below, I meet her fear with presence, not pride. Number 6. When she mirrors you, it's her soul saying, "I feel safe." She starts using your slang, laughs the way you laugh, picks up your routines, the way you make coffee, the podcasts you play in the car, even the subtle tilt of your head when you're deep in thought. At first it might seem like a coincidence, but it's not. This is mirroring, the unconscious way we reflect those we feel deeply connected to. And when a woman begins to mirror you, it's one of the most intimate signs of emotional safety. Even before her mind, her heart says, "I trust you enough to blend my rhythm with yours." Modern relationships often overlook this. People chase grand gestures, but miss the quiet signs of real emotional fusion. Mirroring isn't about imitation, it's about resonance, and it's involuntary. It means she's tuned into you, not to copy, but to connect. From a Stoic perspective, this should not be a source of ego, but of awareness. Epictetus reminds us, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. When someone mirrors you, you must ask, what exactly are they reflecting? Because the shadow side of this connection is responsibility. If your habits are rushed, reactive, or negative, you may start seeing them reflected in her, not because she's changing, but because you're leading. She may mirror your strengths, yes, but she'll also absorb your inconsistencies, frustrations, and self-doubt. That's why this moment is powerful. It's not just about how much she loves you, it's about what kind of man you are when someone's love becomes reflection. Instead of seeing her mirroring as flattery, see it as a mirror not of her, but of you. Are you the man you want echoed in someone else's heart? If you are, you'll find her becoming more radiant, more at peace, more confident. But if she starts reflecting agitation, withdrawal, or bitterness, pause. She might be showing you where you've drifted from your own center. The Stoic path demands self-awareness, not just for your sake, but for the one who walks beside you. So next time she mirrors you, don't just smile, reflect, and lead with presence. Now speak out and comment below, I lead myself first because love reflects me. Number 7. Her apologies aren't weakness, they're echoes of old wounds. She says sorry when she's not at fault, apologizes for asking a question, for taking up space, for expressing an emotion. To you, it might seem excessive, even confusing, but behind every over-apology is a deeper truth. She's afraid she might be too much to love. This isn't a sign of manipulation. It's a sign of emotional history. Somewhere along the way, maybe with an ex, with a parent, maybe from childhood, she learned that love could disappear without warning, that being herself might push someone away, that the only way to stay close was to stay small. So she apologizes, not because she's always wrong, but because she's been conditioned to believe that her very presence could be a burden. This is where the Stoic response isn't to correct, but to create safety. Marcus Aurelius taught, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. If someone in her past made her feel unwanted for simply existing, then your role now is not to react with annoyance, but with calm presence and assurance. The mistake many men make is to dismiss her apologies. You don't need to say that, they snap, but that tone only reinforces her fear that she's done something wrong again. Instead, respond with warmth. Tell her gently, you never have to say sorry for being real with me. Then show her with action that she's safe to speak, ask, and feel. Over time, as her nervous system learns that your presence doesn't punish her honesty, the apologies will fade, not because you forced them to, but because she no longer feels the need to shrink. Love isn't just about what you do, it's about what your presence permits others to do, to open, breathe, and exist fully. If she's saying sorry too much, she's not weak, she's brave, for still trying, despite her fear. And if you want to be her piece, not just her partner, show her that with you, she never has to apologize for simply being herself. Comment below. I create space where she never has to shrink. Number 8. Her frustration isn't rejection. It's proof she's still fighting for you. She rolls her eyes when you forget something again, gets irritated when you speak without listening, points out your flaws, sometimes too directly, and you wonder, why is she always on edge? Doesn't she care anymore? But here's the paradox. She wouldn't complain if she didn't care. Though it may sting, her frustration is often the strongest proof that she's still emotionally invested. Because indifference doesn't speak up, it stays silent. Indifference lets you fail without a word. Real love, though, it wrestles with the parts of you it doesn't want to lose. You see, when she challenges your habits and points out your blind spots, she's not trying to shame you. She's trying to protect what you've built together. It may come out clumsy, it may feel harsh, but it comes from closeness, not contempt. And when someone else criticizes you, that's when you see her loyalty in full light. She may argue with you privately, but when someone disrespects you publicly, she defends you like a warrior. Because her criticism isn't about undermining you, it's about refining the connection. But when others attack, that's when her love draws the sword. This emotional contradiction, frustration followed by fierce protection, confuses most men, but it's one of the clearest signs of intimacy. She's not just tolerating you, she's choosing you, flaws and all, and saying, I see what's imperfect, but I'm still here. From a Stoic perspective, this is about perception. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you meet her frustrations with defensiveness, the gap widens. But if you meet them with curiosity, pause and ask, why does this matter to her? You begin to hear the love beneath the complaint. Instead of pulling away, lean in. Say, I hear you. Reflect on her words, and if there's truth in them, even uncomfortable truth, grow from it. Because what she wants isn't perfection, she wants presence, she wants effort, she wants to know that she matters enough for you to try. And if she ever stops complaining, that's when you should worry, because silence is rarely the beginning, it's the end. Comment below. Her frustration isn't rejection, it's love asking to be heard. You started this video thinking attraction was about effort, but now you know it's about emotional precision. Every woman carries quiet vulnerabilities, a need to feel seen without performance, a craving to be led without control, a longing for safety in your silence, not just your words. And while most men try to impress, the Stoic man impresses by understanding. He doesn't exploit her weak spots. He honors them by showing up with grounded strength instead of emotional chaos. Because when you speak to her mind, she may listen. But when you speak to her emotional code, calmly, subtly, and with intention, she remembers you in ways she can't explain. If you're ready to connect through presence, not pressure, like this video, subscribe and comment. I recognize what most men miss. Stay still, stay perceptive, because the deepest connection isn't built through effort, it's built through emotional awareness.